athlete of the day, we have Amber Leibrock. Dave, why don't you go ahead and get us started with Amber today?
Sounds good. Sounds good. Hey, Amber, Dave here with Fight Bananas. It was so great to see you out there. It was in Olena seeing you. I would love for you just to talk about, we talked about, of course, your highest of highs with that head kick knockout. And then, of course, fighting Larissa was almost maybe a lowest of lows. Just talk to us about fighting of MMA, being on that roller coaster of kind of trying to stay level-headed, not being on the highest of highs and, some on the lowest of lows.
I say this a lot, it's something that I learned from a coach, Alex Munoz. He is a UFC fighter over at Team Alpha Male. When I was kind of going through a little bit of a bad run before, so I always say this is have a short memory, right? Don't live anywhere too long. So you don't want to live on the highs too long. You don't want to live on the lows too long, especially with fighting, because there's always another fight coming. So that's pretty much it. It was a beautiful experience the first time. It was a beautiful experience the second time. That wasn't the first time I've been finished. That wasn't the first time I've hit a low in fighting, and that wasn't the first time I hit a high in fighting. I've been doing this for a very long time, and it is what it is. This is fighting. It's about fighting. It's not about the viral and being popular and this and that. Like, of course, for me, it's about fighting. It's about making money to feed my family, experiencing the journey and having these great experiences and making these amazing memories, not just for myself, but the people around me. So yeah, the viral head kick was amazing. Being able to fight Larissa Pacheco, which won't be the last time, was also amazing. It didn't turn out my way, but I take nothing for granted and I'm still in it. So here I am.
And last quick one for me. You kind of just mentioned right there, I would assume very much you would love to, you would win. Larissa wins, boom, championship on the line 2 months from now. Larissa in the championship, that's kind of the goal. That's where your mindset's at right now?
I mean, whoever wins that fight, I'm down for. I want the Larissa fight back, whether it's in the championships, whether it's next season, whenever it may be. Of course, I want that fight. If you lose a fight, you always want that fight back, no matter who it is or where it is or whatever, But for me, my goal is this fight right now. There's nothing more important to me than Marina. She is in my way, and I'm going to take her out and make sure that I secure my spot to the finals.
Sounds good. Great skill Friday night, Amber.
Jonathan
Ravikant, 5 Reason Sports. Just building on that point, before that loss to Larissa, you're on a career best 4-fight winning streak. What did you feel like you were able to take away from that loss that allow you to become a better fighter moving forward?
A lot, there was a lot going on, right? Going from never being in that position before. I've never fought as co-main event. I've never fought a previous champion. So there was a lot of things that I got to take away from, things that I need to implement more in my camp, things that I need to implement more in my mindset. If you watch the fight, there were razor thin moments. There were some times where if I would have just been an inch over to the left, I would have connected. If I would have just thrown the hook after the right, it would have connected. So there was a lot to take away from that fight, even though it didn't last that long. I mean, she's a champ for a reason. She hits like a fucking truck, and excuse my language, she hits like a truck. She's a tank, and the next time we fight, best believe I will never take that for granted again, and I will be there 100%.
Now, to add on to what you said, not being in the position of a co-main event before, you're now in the position to fight for $1 million. How do you prepare for that mentally, as far as that added pressure going into the fight?
Well, I think with what happened last time, definitely set me up to have a better mindset for what's happening this time. I killed all distractions. I've been really diving hard into my faith. Obviously, I've made the announcement a couple times. I've converted over to Islam. I am a Muslim now. And I actually read a funny comment on YouTube where they're like, dang, Larissa punched her so hard. They punched God into her, which I love a good joke, right? So, but everything in life happens for reasons, good and bad. And I definitely needed the Larissa fight to push my life and push me to the next step and just, get some things out of the way and, push me into that next level. If I didn't have the Larissa fight, if it didn't happen the way it happened, I don't think I'd be the person I am. And I don't think I'd be in the right mindset or position to really fight for that $1 million.
Appreciate your time and good luck this next fight.
Thank you.
Anik.
Amber, Anik Subramanian, Fightbook MMA. One question about the past, one about the present. Given the result of your last fight, did you make any physical changes in training, like sparring less this fight camp?
I mean, yeah, I've done a lot of physical stuff. You know, I was better about my weight this time. I kind of had a rough weight cut last time, which is something that usually I do not do. Having the back-to-back fights were definitely some adjustment in that department. I absolutely have made all the adjustments that needed to be made physically, make sure I was in better shape, make sure that I was, you know, doing all the right things that I was supposed to do, not taking any time off or being like, oh, you know, my body hurts, I'm tired, like, oh, I just went through a fight camp, blah, 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 blah. Like, I just pushed through it all this time and made sure that I was 100% ready. And obviously Marina and Larissa are two completely different opponents with two completely different styles. So whatever happened with Larissa is in the past. My game plan for this time was just preparing for Marina. She's a grappler. She's a very talented grappler. I'm not overlooking it whatsoever. So it actually gave me an opportunity to get back to my roots, which is grappling myself. I started in jiu-jitsu. I have amazing grappling. So it gave me a chance to get back to that and really fall back in love with grappling, with jiu-jitsu, you know, with my wrestling and things like that.
Awesome. And one about the present. Amber, you're someone that has overcome a lot. You've inspired a lot of people to get to the point where you are today. What does it mean to be fighting at Madison Square Garden? And do you have any memories at this venue?
It's amazing. Obviously, I've never been here before. Like, I'm from Cali, like I'm a West Coast girl. So I've only been over to New York one time. And this is everything. Like, I'm not just making experiences for myself. I just posted something on my Instagram yesterday, like talking about my family. Like, I've got my brother, one of my brothers, my stepdad and my mom here, and they are out exploring New York. They are out like doing that. Like, I'm here for business, but they are seeing all these amazing things. And that wouldn't have happened for them if it wasn't for the position I'm in, right? Win or lose, I'm here to inspire people. I want people to know that it doesn't matter where you come from or, you know, the cards that were dealt for you. Like, you can do it. You can make it to the highest level. You can be the best you can possibly be. And that doesn't mean winning or losing. Like, us as fighters, and this is like an MMA culture where it's like, oh, how many wins you got? How many losses you got? Like, if you talk to some old school Muay Thai guys, they don't ask that. They ask you, how many fights do you have? Because it's about fighting. It's the fact that we are all warriors and we're all courageous and brave enough to step into that cage and do what we love every day. It's a hard life. So for me, it's just about inspiring people that are going to come up. I'm not going to do this forever, but the things I leave will be here. The memories I leave will be here. The things I say, the people I inspire that are coming up after me, I hope that they inspire more. And then it just trickles down in that way. And that's why I don't talk bad about my opponents. They can say whatever they want, but for me, it's all about respect and love, because we should be here supporting each other and really building each other up for the people to come.
Well, Amber, you've definitely inspired me. Best of luck Friday, and looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
Euro.
Hey, Amber. After your viral knockout win in Vegas, there was like a lot of hype and talk around you going to that last one. Ultimately, it didn't go your way, but I guess now, do you feel more relaxed and with less pressure going into this one?
No. And the hype came from other people. Like, that didn't come from me. You know what I mean? Everyone else built that up. For me, it was just whatever. And I don't feel any less relaxed or less pressure, anything like that. This is the most important fight of my life. The last fight was like, because it was who it was. It wasn't the actual fight itself, right? But this fight is the most important fight of my life. This fight is going to secure my spot into the $1 million. This is the fight that matters the most. Whatever has happened in the past is in the past. All that hype and this and that, but whatever. Like, I've worked for this. I've been in this game for 10 years. I've been grinding and grinding and grinding. So people can call that shot lucky. They can call it whatever they want, but it's not luck. Like, I worked for this. I deserve to be here, and I'm definitely going to take it Friday night.
That's awesome. And I want to ask you about your fight this weekend. What excites you most about Marina as an opponent?
The fact that I can probably show all my skill set, you know, like, she is amazing. Like, she's amazing grappler. She's amazing at Sambo. Like, she didn't get finished by Kayla. She's got all these attributes, right? And so those are the things that excite me the most, because when I beat somebody like that, like, you know, that just shows who I am as a fighter. That shows, or, you know, just even having just an amazing, just nonstop performance, you know, whatever happens, like, that's what you search for as a fighter, right? Like, cool, the quick, fast knockouts are nice. Like, we don't get paid by the minute, you know, whatever people like to say. But like, at the end of the day, it's about the fight. It's about fighting with your heart. It's about fighting with every last bit that you got. And I definitely think Marina is the perfect opponent to pull that out of me.
Thank you and good luck.
Thanks.
MMA locker room?
Hello,
Or, sorry, MMA Fight Club. My apologies.
yes, it's Manny here with MMA Fight Club. How are you, Amber?
Hi.
It's been a while. Last time I spoke to you, I interviewed you way back when you were an Invicta fighter. And one thing I noticed about the interview we had, it was not during fight time. It was not around fight time. And here today, I'm seeing a level of focus and intensity. Do you change? Is your personality different from the fighter you are the days leading up to a fight and then the person that you are when you're not, you know, up to a fight?
Well, yeah, I think this fight definitely, you know, I've been a little too nice. I've been a little too happy to be here. You know, I don't like to read comments, but sometimes I read comments that do stick with me. And I seen somebody say like, oh, Amber looks too happy to be here. And maybe that was true, you know, like it was just so amazing to just be in that position that I don't think I really took it fully for what it was. Right. And so this time it's like, I'm serious, man. I'm not here to play no games. And I'm the same person all the time, fight or not, you know, but just right now it's business and it's time for me to do work. And that $1 million is going to change my life. So if she wants it, she's going to have to kill me in there on Friday night.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, Amber.
Thank you.
All right, Amber, thank you so much for your time today.
Perfect.
Appreciate
Thank you guys. Thanks.
All right, guys, we have Marina next, please.
Hang on one second, Marina.
Sorry, guys, 1 second. Good.
Just one second.
Okay. Good. All right, Jonathan, start us off with Marina, please.
Jonathan Ramakhan, 5 Regions Sports. Marina, you have multiple time world championships in grappling and sambo. Where do you feel like your grappling ranks out of the remaining fighters in the playoffs?
Это очень серьезный грапплинг и борьба в это самбо. Как ты думаешь, твой уровень по грапплингу, по борьбе, как он в твоей категории, как он сравнивается с другими бойцами в твоей категории?
Да, действительно, у меня очень большой опыт в борцовской направлении, поэтому это мне очень помогает выступать в ММА, и это, наверное, превосходство над многими моими соперницами именно в этом гран-при.
Yes, I have a really good ground and wrestling, and it will give me advantage against all the ladies in my division in this competition.
Now, with a win this next fight, you would be on your career best 5-fight win streak. Where do you feel like you've developed, and what have allowed you to go on this streak during your career?
После этого боя у тебя получится такая серия 5 выигрышев подряд, и очень, очень красивая такая серия. Где ты себя видишь по боям без правил с такой серией, с таким проходом 5 выигрышев подряд?
Я особо не забегаю вперед, я просто делаю свою работу, ежедневно тренируюсь, отдаю всю себя, и я работаю над этим, чтобы идти без серии поражений. Всегда делаю из каждого боя какие-то выводы и работаю, и улучшаю себя.
I don't pay attention to the winning streaks or none of that. I just train all the time to be the best and to have good performances and always push forward, and the results would speak of themselves.
Thank you and good luck.
Dave.
Dave?
Wait, did you call me? Oh, or Dave, my bad. Dave, you go.
Okay. Hey, Marina, this is Dave here with Fight Bananas. Yeah, same with Jonathan. Having 6 out of your last 7 wins, do you feel that you're the dark horse out of this final 4 on the female side of winning this whole championship?
Да, у тебя очень много сейчас выигрышев в твоей категории, в твоем весе. Ты из последних 7 ты почти все бои выиграла. И где ты себя видишь? Где ты себя видишь в своей категории и вообще в дальнейшем?
Ну, для начала конечная точка — это стать чемпионкой и выиграть пояс и $1 миллион. Я над этим очень много работала. За плечами огромная работа, большой опыт. Все есть. И осталось просто быть сфокусированной сейчас именно на этом гран-при, а дальше уже будет видно.
My main goal now is to win these championships and to establish myself as a champion and move forward from there, not thinking about the winning streaks or anything. I just want to become a champion, and I'm concentrated on this season a lot right now.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Anik.
Anik Subramanian, Fightbook MMA. Marina, last year you lost a very close decision to Kayla Harrison. Well, a decision. And Kayla has finished so many of her opponents. Do you take any confidence from surviving a fight against a killer like her?
Ты дралась с Калой Хэррисом, и она очень серьезная соперница, которая выигрывала очень много женщин, и ты с ней очень близкий был бой, и она очень много кого выигрывала. Тебе это дает какой-то настрой и уверенность от того, как ты провела бой с одной из самых лучших в мире?
Безусловно, Кайла Харрисон, после боя с Кайлой Харрисон я получила огромный опыт, и после боя поняла, что я вполне могу спокойно конкурировать с такими сильными соперниками, и особо она меня ничем не удивила. Поэтому я могла даже больше сделать в этом бою, но получилось так, как получилось, и сейчас я уже подошла к этому гран-при более уверенной, более
сфокусированы.
Of course, fighting someone like Kylie Harris, it was a really, really good experience. And after that fight, my confidence got a lot bigger. I felt her power. I felt what she can do. I felt like I should have done more. Unfortunately, it didn't go my way, but I gained huge experience and huge confidence from that fight. And it just gives me more motivation, keep moving forward, and show you guys great fights.
And one more from me. I see the Polar Bear team repping. Congratulations on your marriage with Sergey Spivak. Do you plan on going to Paris to watch his fight against Sirogan after this?
Мы видим, ты носишь свитер Сергея Спивака, мы знаем, что вы недавно женились. Это очень круто, мы вас поздравляем. И приедешь ли ты поддержать и посмотреть бой Сергея Спивака, его бой во Франции?
Да, спасибо большое. Да, Сергей Спивак сейчас это мой супруг, это моя поддержка, всегда рядом со мной. Сейчас он тоже будет в моем углу, и после моего боя он летит в Париж. К сожалению, у меня не получается с ним полететь из-за визовых проблем, но я буду следить и очень сильно переживать за него. Победа будет за нами.
Thank you very much. Yes, we recently got married, and we're both very happy, and I'm very happy that he's by my side. He's supporting me a lot. We always train together. I'm very happy and very fortunate. And unfortunately, I won't be able to attend Paris, France fight. I would love to be there. And I would have been there. Unfortunately, I cannot get a visa and I cannot make my way out there. Otherwise, I would be there. But of course, I'll be still supporting from wherever I am at.
Got it. Best of luck on Friday.
Удачи в пятницу.
Thank you.
MMA locker room.
Hey, what's going on, Marina? Just wanted to ask you a few questions. It seems like you and Denis Goltsov is putting St. Petersburg, Russia on the map. But I just have a question. Who are some of the fighters that you actually watched growing up that you kind of modeled your game after and try to get your fighting style similar to?
Мы видим, ты и Денис Гольцов, вы оба из одного города на таком высоком уровне, оба вышли из одного города, это очень-очень круто. И нам очень интересно, когда ты росла и становилась как боец, кого ты смотрела, кто тебя удивлял и кто тебя заинтересовал, именно чтобы вот так вот выйти на такой уровень, на котором ты сейчас. Кто твои как бы idols и кто твои такие люди, на которых ты смотрела и которым ты даешь уважение смотреть их бои?
Да, действительно, с Денисом мы с одного города, мы тренировались в одном зале, мы выходцы из нашей борьбы с самбо, были вместе в национальной сборной России по самбо, и да, и так сложилось, что мы теперь выступаем в одной из лучших лиг мира PFL, и к этому я пришла, наверное, моей вдохновительницей была тогда Ронда Роузи, то есть которая тоже из любительского спорта перешла в ММА и стала очень большой звездой, и тогда я тоже загорелась этим, глядя на нее, что почему нет, почему не попробовать себя на большой арене, на весь мир, вот так выступать и показывать высокие результаты.
Yes, me and Denis Goltsov, we've been on the same team representing Russia and St. Petersburg in Sambo. We've been teammates for a long time. We've been competing many same tournaments. And it happened to be that both of us, we achieved such a high level and able to fight in PFL, one of the best organizations, if not the best organizations in the world. And I'm very happy and very fortunate that both of us made it out there. And growing up, I loved watching Ronda Rousey. She caught my eye because she also comes from amateur sports, judo, just like myself. And after I seen her win and use those techniques, I got super excited and I got very, I could see that I can do it too, because I have similar style and, you know, I can maybe even do it even better. So Ronda Rousey, she was the one that really impressed me and motivated me.
Thank you for your time.
Спасибо за твое время.
Thank you.
Last question for us. Euro.
Hi, Marina. I just want to ask, what are some takeaways or learning experiences you had from the start of the 2023 PFL season until now that have helped you reach this point in your career?
Мария, какие твои, что ты выучила, начиная с сезона и до сегодняшнего дня, вот когда сезон начался и до сегодняшнего дня, где ты выросла и какой опыт ты получила до сегодняшнего дня, когда ты дралась здесь, в этой организации?
От каждого от боя к бою я набираю только уверенность в своих силах. И когда часто проходят бои, это очень дает такой большой опыт. И все время ты находишься в форме в тренировочном процессе. То есть только, наверное, опыт и уверенность.
Starting fighting with the PFL this season, it gave me a lot of confidence, but not so much confidence as experience, because it's a very unique format where you're fighting very often and you always have to be kind of on the go. You always have to be alert, and because a new fight coming up, so I'm always in shape. I'm always training, not taking too much time, and always in a grind. So because of that, my experience grew big time because I'm always in the game, I'm always in the grind, and I'm always working. So that elevated me to the higher level.
Awesome. And last one from me. So I want to ask, what excites you most about this matchup with Amber?
Еще один вопрос. Что тебе больше всего нравится в этом поединке с Эмбером? Что ты видишь, что тебе нравится в этом бою?
Это очередной день на моей будет работе, и я сфокусирована на своей победе, особо буду просто делать свою работу, и ничего особо не меняла в своих подготовках, просто работала над собой, чтобы быть лучшей. Поэтому особо я не придаю значения к соперникам, лучше, хуже. Полный фокус на бою, на свою работу.
There's nothing really much about Amber in terms of excitement. I'm just excited about, I'm concentrated on myself. I'm always working and I'm improving myself. It doesn't matter who I'm fighting. I just want to elevate myself and propel myself to the highest heights and levels that I can put myself into. And I just work on myself a lot. That's all I care about, getting better, and just work on myself and getting better.
Thank you and good luck.
Спасибо, удачи.
All right. Thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Even though you're not, I'm in the space. Yeah, that's what I like. Got 2 lights over there. Yeah. So we have history. Party, championship, belts, all that. Very good. Number 2 now. This is my range of my release. Any US not any US not. No, I believe you can. That's perfect.
All right. Anik, start us off with Olena.
Anik Subramanian, Fightbook MMA. Olena, good to see you. I saw on social media that you trained with Amanda Nunes. What type of training did you do together, and is she your favorite fighter?
Sorry, what's your name?
Anik.
Anik, I think you're a little bit late in time. I trained in Amanda Nunez in 2018.
My
So
apologies.
now I have a Brazilian coach. His name is Mateus, and we speak together with him by Portuguese. So, but it's okay, Anik, it's happened. Anyway, my favorite fighter of a female, it's myself. And if we take from the guys, I think if we take MMA, it will be Conor McGregor.
Love it. And my bad. One more from me. A fellow Ukrainian warrior in Vasily Lomachenko, he lost a very close fight recently. Who do you think he should fight next? And what inspiration do you take from him and his career?
I think Vasily needs to work with his manager, and I'm sure they will find him better opponent than last time.
Got it. Thank you, and best of luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Jonathan.
Jonathan Ramakhan, 5 Regions Sports. Olena, this is going to be the third time sharing the cage with your opponent, Larissa. When you share the cage that many times with an opponent, what does it allow you to take away and learn from that experience?
We became so close as I became with some relatives. I saw her more often than I see some of my aunts.
Did you feel like you're going to invite her to the family reunion next time that happens?
Yeah, why not? We can share with her some Brazilian cheese and some tapioca.
Awesome. Thank you and good luck.
Dave.
Hey, Olena, this is Dave with Fight Bananas. How are you, friend? Do you see any parallels from Larissa and Kayla Harrison, fighting twice, not ever getting the job done, and then the third time winning, and then now with you fighting Larissa twice, not getting the job done, and now third time's the charm and winning Friday night in Madison Square Garden?
Well, of course, we can see parallel, but we're totally different with Kayla. I work really hard in this fight camp to make myself better, but again, fight is fight. Everything depends from God. But definitely, I'll do my best to make a show this night and make a good fight. So keep your eye on my fight.
Absolutely, Elena. Thank you.
Euro.
Hi, Olena. You started off your 2023 PFL season in great fashion when you beat Aspenlad in a fight where she had a lot of hype going into it. And then you won your second fight in Atlanta. What's the mentality like going into a trilogy with Larissa? Maybe where you're going to want to shock the world again.
The main mentality is fuck them all. A lot of people text me like, we support you, we're with you. And I remember when so many people tell me that they make money on me when they put for me against Aspenland and they say, thank you, Olena. So I was happy even, in such a tough way to help them. So I don't care about any, I don't care that I'm underdog again or anyone what they think about this fight. I know what I'm going to do and I show my best in this fight.
Awesome. Thank you and good luck.
MMA Fight Club.
Привет, Olena. How are you? It's Manny from MMA Fight Club.
Hello.
So my question for you is, last time I talked to you, we did an interview and you were talking about going to fight a bear, going outside the cabin and maybe going and meeting a bear. Would you compare a grizzly bear to maybe fighting someone like Pacheco?
Yeah, but the difference between bear and Pacheco, I really love bears. With one of them I date right now. So, I mean, I respect Pacheco, but not so close.
Good luck tomorrow. Good luck Friday.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Any last questions for Olena before we let her go? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay. All right, Olena. Thank you so much for your time today.
We're done for today at all.
We're just gonna go right across and then you're gonna do that.
Something else?
Better with the lights off than the other stuff there. He wants stuff down too. So what's that?
All right, guys, we have Jordan coming in. Please raise your hands if you have questions for Jordan. Wow, your eyes match your shirt almost directly.
Thanks for noticing.
Right?
Right?
Ready, Bon? All right, Euro, start us off.
Hi, Jordan. Congratulations on making it to this point. I want to say, you're no stranger to semifinal matchup. You actually made it to the semis of the Ultimate Fighter last year. And now, fast forward to today, you're now in the PFL heavyweight semifinals. In what ways did you grow as a fighter since you competed on Tough?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that last part.
I just want to ask, in what ways did you grow as a fighter since you appeared on Tough?
What ways have you grown as a fighter since you appeared?
Oh yeah, since the Ultimate Fighter, I think my game has evolved tremendously. I started training at Skywalker 101, which led me to better coaching, tougher teammates. So I definitely think I'm light years better than what I was on the show, and I'm ready to showcase that this Friday.
Awesome. And what excites you most about the matchup with Denis?
The matchup with Denis, what excites me the most is his experience. He's such a dominant fighter and competitor, with his background in sambo and just his MMA record in general. He's just a tough competitor, and that's what excites me the most. So I'm excited to test myself with what he brings to the table.
And obviously the focus is on Denis first, but if it was up to you, who would you like to face in the finale?
I don't have a preference. I have an idea who's going to win, and I'm going to blank his name, but the Brazilian, I believe, is going to beat Greene.
Awesome. Thank you and good luck.
And Jonathan? Hope I know this in the right order. Jonathan, can you hear me? Or Anik?
Yeah, Anik Subramanian, Fightbook MMA. Jordan, you were a defensive tackle on the Indiana University football team. Did any of the techniques that you used in football translate into your MMA skills? And if so, which ones?
Yeah, with playing college football at a high level, just the explosiveness from the football, playing football, transfers well to the MMA. And just being an athlete, that just shows that I'm a multi-sport athlete, and that I can compete in any sport and be competitive.
Awesome. Best of luck on Friday. Excited to see you.
Yep, appreciate it. Thank you.
Max.
Max Burner, KOD. Jordan, how you doing today?
Good, great.
Piggybacking a little bit off Anik there. I believe you were a junior college defensive tackle and a wrestler there, and then you went to Indiana. How does playing in the Big Ten kind of prepare you for the stage, such as a semifinals, potentially winning $1 million if you go on and win these next two fights?
Yeah. So just throughout my career in athletics, I've been on big stages, state tournaments, big football, arenas or fields, I guess. So just being under the spotlight, it doesn't scare me. It doesn't get me nervous at all. So definitely ready for are just more so focused on the task at hand, which is Denis.
Yeah, of course. And your last fight in the PFL was only a little bit under 2.5 minutes, I believe, and it ended with a pretty good leg kick leading to an injury. This fight, what are you excited to show against an opponent that might be a longer fight?
Right. Denis definitely brings a lot more experience to the table, and which I believe I'm gonna have to dig, deep into my toolbox, which I'm excited about. I get to show, essentially the world what I'm capable of, and that's real exciting for me.
Thanks, Jordan. Thank you for your time.
Yep. Thank you.
Jonathan.
Jonathan Ravikant, 5 Region Sports. Jordan, typically fighters this young in their career don't get the opportunity to fight for a title so soon. Speak about the opportunity that the PFL gives, not just you, but any fighter who's young in their career looking for this opportunity.
Yeah, you're right. I'm definitely young in this career. I'm only 7-0, don't have that much cage time, but I think everything works out as it's supposed to. I'm supposed to be here. I just feel it. The PFL is just like the perfect fit for me. And I'm not scared of the challenge ahead. These are tough competitors, and that just gets me more excited about being a part of the PFL and being in the playoffs. And you just got to take risk. You got to accept big fights, big opportunities, and you got to go out and perform. And that's just part of the game. And that's what I love about it.
You spoke about taking risks. Throughout all those risks professionally, you still have an undefeated record. What's the easiest thing and what's the hardest thing about having that undefeated record?
As far as being undefeated, it's just, I don't think about it much. I'm always just thinking about my next opponent, my next matchup, and ways I can beat them, and ways I'm gonna figure out their weakness and capitalize on it. Whether I'm undefeated or not, it's just always about going out and performing my best and giving it 100%. And the winning and losing will take care of itself.
Last one for me. You spoke about trying to maybe do some scouting for the weaknesses. What are some holes that you see in your opponent's game that you'll maybe try to expose your next fight?
Yeah, with Denis's style of fighting, he's pretty diverse. He's got a ton of submissions, ton of knockouts, ton of fights in general. But where I think I have the advantage is my athleticism and my explosiveness. I'm gonna get in his face and I'm gonna make it ugly and make it uncomfortable for him. And when things get uncomfortable, people make mistakes, and that's where I'm gonna capitalize.
Thank you so much and good luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Dave. Hey, Jordan, this is Dave here with Fight Bananas. Being in the Final Four, the other 3 heavyweights are kind of mainstays here for the PFL, multiple years, multiple, championship opportunities. Do you like kind of being the newcomer? Do you like being this dark horse in this Final Four right now?
Absolutely. I love being the new guy, the dark horse, right. You said. It's a perfect fit. Like I love being the underdog. I love being the no name. And I'm gonna come in and churn some heads with my performance, and that really gets me excited about competing in the PFL.
And you do you still keep up on football, especially like professionally? Do you have a favorite team?
A lot of people ask me this since I played college football. Surprisingly, I don't watch much football. I think it's something I did a good chunk of my life, and I was just ready to close that chapter and begin my MMA chapter.
Awesome, Jordan, man, best of skill to you on Friday night, brother.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Jordan, thank you for your time today. Appreciate you.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Guys, we're gonna take just a quick 5-minute break, and we'll be back with Maurice. All right, Jordan.
Thank you guys. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I am going to bring Maurice in just 1 minute and we'll get back started in about 60 seconds. And also, if you have a question for Maurice, please raise your hand.
Hey, it's supposed to be two patches.
All right, we're good. Jonathan.
Jonathan Ralikhan, 5 Regions Sports. Maurice, you've done a lot of talking during this period. It just seems like it's getting into his head. How big does the mental part of the game come into aspect when it comes to MMA?
Man, over the years, I've mentally defeated myself sometimes before I even got to the cage. But everybody's different and everybody's process is a little different. I've had the luxury to be around Henry Cejudo here and there because of obviously John Jones and Henry kind of let us know it's mental warfare. Before the fight, it's mental warfare before the fight, and not to say that that's everything. In the case with Ran, we know his style, we know how he gets down, and we know that he's gonna come throwing them haymakers from Australia all the way to fucking New York City. So, it plays a little role into it. and maybe it'll get him off his game a little bit. Maybe it won't. Maybe, but I'm gonna do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much and good luck.
You're welcome.
Euro.
Hello, Maurice. Congratulations on reaching to this point. I wanted to ask, what was your initial reaction when you found out you were going to be competing in the semifinals of this tournament?
So I've said this in other interviews. I kickboxed for a little bit. I took a small stint. I got an opportunity to fight in a one-night tournament, made it to the final, fought Xavier Vigny, who's, I think he's like 6'9" or 6'8" or something, but Xavier's big and he's athletic. I think it's one of Ngannou's old trainer partners actually now. It's kind of crazy that we went the ways we did after our glory careers, but I've never showed up as an alternate and not fought. So as soon as I got the confirmation I was an alternate, I treated it as if something was going to happen. It's the best tournament in MMA. I've said this multiple times. Not only do you have to fight good, you have to outlast injury. It's mentally taxing. It's physically taxing. Getting back from a fight, win, lose, or draw, and getting right back into camp. Sometimes you take a week or two off. You got some injuries, but I've gotten right back to camp, and this. Even though I lost my last fight and I was out, I had the idea that something was going to happen, Maurice. You're going to get your opportunity to come back. So I've treated it like that. So when I got the call, it was business as usual. It gave me something even more to fight for, even more to wake me up and get me to swimming, wake me up, get me in the gym. When I want to shut it down and go to bed, well, I still had a training session that night. And yeah, man, it was amazing. I was happy. I think the first thing I did was look at my son and said, Jackson, Daddy's back in. And my son goes, he said, let's go. I was like, okay, Jack, I see you, big dog. So, that's motivation in itself. Sorry, guys, for your ears.
That's what's up, man. I also wanted to ask you about, so you made an appearance on The Ultimate Fighter in 2018, and you made it to the semifinals as well. Since that point until now, how do you think you've developed as a fighter?
Man, I wasn't ready for the opportunity that I had when I was in the UFC. I know I went 3-0 in my first three bouts in the UFC, but then when the competition got tough and it was time to really step up and train harder and harder, I thought it was what most fighters do. You get a little soft, you start thinking you the man. And I went to a couple gyms. I was in and out of those gyms. And really when John asked me to come and train with him, which at first I thought it was just a couple times, but it developed into what it is now. It kind of reignited that flame to kind of like see the process of not just a world champion, but the process of the GOAT, the greatest MMA fighter to ever do this, his process and what he goes through. I was lucky enough to, be very close to it. I'm not in everything, but very, very close. And, we're around the same age, and if he can still do it, I got less miles on my body. I know I can still do it.
Awesome. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Anik.
Maurice, Anik Subramanian, Fightbook MMA. If you and Jordan Heiderman win your fights, it would be a PFL final between two alumni from The Ultimate Fighter. What was your favorite part of The Ultimate Fighter experience, and what did you learn from your time on Team Gastelum?
My favorite part was my team, fam. We had a solid team. I still talk to Coach T, who is one of the guys who you always see with Calvin Gastelum. I still talk to Coach T. He still tells me the same thing. He still asks me, Mo, you need to go and do 50 get-ups after practice. I don't care how tired you are. It's time to work. Do 50 get-ups. And then my favorite time, I think, on Ultimate Fighter is the time I did have with Coach T and the rest of the heavyweights. I'm still friends with Justin Frazier, who I feel like, I'll say this, I feel like Justin Frazier got the shaft. I think he should have got a chance more than a lot of us on the show. But obviously you see that we were the most dominant team. Most of us have been in the UFC at some point in time or have moved on to bigger and better things like Larissa, Pacheco, and myself. So
great.
And one more from me. I know there's been some heat between you and Renan in some of the previous press conferences. How do you feel about him?
From what standpoint you mean?
Like as a fighter?
I just told you he's tough. This man's tough. You know, he's gonna move forward. He's throwing haymakers from Africa, okay, or from Brazil all the way to New York, whatever you want to call it. They from way the fuck over there all the way over here, and he's trying to finish the fight, man. You know, and that's awesome. I welcome that. You know, it's gonna be a tough fight. You know, we're not fighting chumps out here. You know, we're fighting some of the best guys in the world. So you gotta have your A game. You know, it really doesn't matter what it looks like on paper. It matters who shows up that night.
Awesome. Excited to watch it.
Thank you so much.
Max.
What's up, Maurice? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
You sound inspired, which I love to see. So with a guy like Renan, he's, I mean, the first MMA fighter that you've fought who's taller than you and has a longer reach. I know you said you just fought kickboxing against Xavier Bigby. But I was looking at your past fights and I don't see anything since, I think, 2016 Chi Lewis Perry, sorry.
Chopper Chai Lewis Perry.
That one. Chopper Chai Lewis Perry that you fought that was that big. So how do you deal with someone? How do you prepare for someone with this much length? What do you do? Is it
He's an inch tall. Let's get down to the brass tacks. It's about an inch taller than me, maybe an inch and a half, right? His arms are about an 85, and they may be generous on those, but they may not be. The height is whatever. The leg reach is virtually identical. Okay, I got long legs. Man, I mean, you ask him the same question because I bet you he may have not fought guys, period, my size. It may not happen. You know, John Jones has reached 84 and a half inches, and he uses his reach every bit at 84 and a half inches, and he's very good at using that reach. So, you know, I just don't think Ran is as good as John with using that reach. He uses it very well, but he also sticks his neck out. You know, we've seen it. You know, he's been able to get away with that shit. Just like me, right? I've been able to get away with turning around and running away, right? I've been able to get away with dipping my head, right? This is something where these are things that I can't do fighting a guy of his stature, right? And vice versa. So, you know, there's things that we got to do to get better, and you'll see Friday night how we made those adjustments.
Awesome. I do plan to ask him the same question. Thank you for your time, Maurice.
Thank you.
Richard.
Hey, Maurice. Rick Wright, Albuquerque Journal. You talked about training with John. How hands-on has he been with you? Does he spar with you, roll with you, or is he mostly an advisor?
Pretty much, I mean, we started this process training together. We still train together. You know, John has all of his coaches that advise him and all that. You know, they give me a couple things here and there, but we started training together, and that's you know, we're training partners. So I do most things with John.
Okay.
Or my other teammates, right? We got a real tight group of dedicated guys that come in that gym, and you know, in addition to John, we have the luxury of having, you know, John bring out guys like Gordon Ryan, or being able to get a little bit of stuff from Henry Cejudo, or being able to go out of town and go to some of these cool gyms and meet these fucking awesome athletes that show us a little bit here and a little bit there. So, you know, I train with them. Don't you guys ever forget that. I get punched in the face by them all the time. It hurts and it sucks.
You talked about Cejudo. Did John take you to Phoenix to work with him, or did Cejudo come to Albuquerque? How did that work?
Say it again?
You talked about Cejudo working with him. Did he come to Albuquerque, or did you go to Phoenix with John? How did that work?
No, not recently. I mean, not that I know of recently. Just when you saw him last time, and you know, I've been out there. You know, when I vacation sometimes in Arizona, they allow me to come into the gym. So, you know, I've been out there and trained with some of their guys there. You know, we're talking about a little bit of knowledge, but you know, at that level, just 10 minutes of talking, throwing some things by them kind of showing you one position, that's better than them showing you no position. So I don't want you guys to sit here and think that I've been training with these guys and I've been working. No, I've been able, I've had the luxury to pick their brain for maybe 5 minutes and just get a couple questions answered or get a position question answered that will help me moving forward. You gotta learn how to kind of ask the right questions for yourself and see if you can't get an answer or two, and not expect a whole lot of hands-on. I'm not their fighter. I'm nobody's really fighter, so I just try to get as much knowledge as I can with the people that are around me and the information that I possibly have to reach out to with some of the great athletes that are around me. So
do you still live in Albuquerque, or we're just here for camp?
Uh-huh.
Do you still live in Albuquerque?
Yeah, I live there. I'm full time.
Okay. Okay.
All the way, baby.
Do you spend any time at Jackson Wink anymore?
No, I tell everybody this. I don't know why everybody thinks I still trade at Jackson Wink. Okay. I've parted ways with Jackson Wink around just probably right after John, that whole thing happened with John for my own personal reasons. And I've had the luxury of being able to train in a small closed group with John and my teammate and cornerman, Jaime Romo, for over 3 years now, I think, or something like that. But it's been quite some time since I stepped foot in there and actually trained.
All right. Thank you, Maurice.
Thank you.
All right, last question, Mills.
What's going on, Crochet Boss? MMA Locker Room, part of Pub Sports Radio. How you doing today?
How we doing, big homie?
Oh, you know me, man. We good. Just spoke to you about 2
somebody has
days.
to say that too. He feel me. Go ahead.
You already know, man. I just spoke to you about 2 days ago, man. We spoke about some things, but I want to pick your brain on this, man. It's going to be a little bit different too. Some fighters, they might look at some things that they have physically and look at it as a defect, but you never let that affect you, with the peripheral or anything like that. Can you talk to me a little bit about, giving people the confidence out there, if their body's not the same as the other person, not to let that stop them, to always go forward and pursue their dreams?
Man, it goes back to, I used to not even think about using it as an advantage, but it was John who actually told me, I said, yeah, man, I got more peripherals and on one side than the other, and whoop the bam. And he was like, all right, Maurice, so how do you use that to your advantage? All right, where's the advantage there? So I broke it down with him. I was like, oh shit, motherfucker, you right. So again, this is using the people that I have access to, man. And I have access to some of the greats at certain times. I have access to just picking the brain of some of the greats, whether it be a coach, a high-level athlete, his coach's coach, maybe even in life, right? Even in life, and sometimes what to do next, or, how to do merch, or so using the network that you have available to you is very vital. And I tell not just fighters and, coaches, like everybody, assess your network and figure out how you can use it. You can help each other, you can get to a point where you can get the information you need. There's someone out there, if you have a good, strong network of people, there's information to go out there and get. You just got to go get it. Like if you have like a disability or a difference, I don't even want to call it a disability, right? It's not a disability, it's just a difference. If you have a difference in what somebody else may have, if there's a possibility, be creative and see how you can use that to your advantage. That's how I go through life.
Got it, man. I like it. And one other thing, man. So since we got, 2 twin towers about to take off and fight. All right. So let's put this in the superhero mode. If you were to be a superhero and your opponent would be a superhero or a villain, who do you see you being and who do you see your opponent being? Break it down in the superhero type mode.
I don't know who he gonna be. He reminds me of like somebody who walks out chest out, like a Superman. I'm here, chin high. If you look at how he stands and how we face off, chest high, chin high, he has to feel like he's bigger. Like that's a mental thing for him. I don't give a fuck. You can put me as a villain, baby. I want to be one of them ugly villains. You say I'm ugly, I'll be an ugly villain. Sometimes the villain do win the war. So, and he has to come back and reassess. But that's not till next year. So, the villain will be the crochet boss.
I love that. I always root for the bad
Spreading
guys.
love, though. I'll be spreading love, but just in the cage, I'm a villain. Okay, but when I get out of that cage, crochet boss is full of love and yarn and crochets and
crazy
hooks.
cats.
Okay, you got me.
All right, man. Best of luck, best of skill. Can't wait to see you guys this Friday.
Appreciate you.
All right, Maurice, thank you so much for your time today.
That's a wrap.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm gonna eat.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Maurice.
Oh, no. Thank you.
All right, guys, we got Renan walking up. So if you have questions for Renan, please raise your hand and we will be utilizing a translator. Right.
Essa luz aí tá massa, hein? Som testando, 1, 2.
One of those.
iPhone's right here. Phone's there.
Oh, nice.
Don't look like that.
Ready? All right, Anik, please start us off.
Anik Subramanian, Fightbook MMA. Renan, congratulations on making it to the semifinals. You represent Brazil, a nation that has had so many great mixed martial arts champions. Are there any fighters specifically that you looked up to when you were training?
Parabéns por chegar na semifinal, você que representa o Brasil. Tem algum ídolo, alguma pessoa assim que você vê como uma inspiração para você, para você começar a treinar e chegar onde você chegou, uma referência no esporte brasileiro para você?
Obrigado. Então, temos muitos brasileiros, né, cara? Brasileiros que fizeram história aí, que ajudaram a colocar o MMA em alta, né? Ajudaram a crescer esse esporte que hoje é tão grandioso. E sim, com certeza, eu venho da equipe de Nogueira, né? Treinei bastante tempo aí com o Rogério Minotouro, com o Minotauro. Aprendi muito, são grandes referências aí, não só dentro, mas como fora também dos octagons.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I started my career at Team Nogueira. So when I think of reference points for me in MMA, I got to say Little Nog and Big Nog. Those two are, they're idols, not only inside, but also outside of the cage.
Awesome. One more for me. You've done a lot in your career. You were headlining an event at the Madison Square Garden in New York City. Tell me what that means to you.
O que significa para você ser o main event aqui no Madison?
Para mim é muito importante, né? Estou muito feliz em fazer essa luta principal. Resultado de um trabalho forte que a gente vem desenvolvendo ao longo do tempo. E para mim é uma oportunidade única. Eu estou encarando como a luta da minha vida.
Yeah, I mean, it's a culmination of all the hard work we've been putting in. I see this as the opportunity of a lifetime. It's a great honor to be here as the main event at Madison Square Garden.
Awesome. Best of luck.
Max.
Olá, como vai, Renan?
Tudo bem?
Now in English. I asked a similar question to your opponent, and curious with you. I was looking on your record, and it doesn't seem you fought someone your height, reach, or even close since 2018 Thiago Cardozo. How do you prepare for someone with Maurice's height and length, someone who's not a usual height and length opponent where you usually have a big reach advantage? How do you prepare? What's different in this training camp for preparing for Maurice than a normal training camp?
Dei uma olhada no seu cartel e vi que a última vez que você enfrentou um oponente relativamente perto do seu alcance e da sua envergadura e da sua altura foi em 2018, quando você lutou com o Thiago Cardoso. Como é que você se prepara para lutar com um cara como Maurice Greene, que tem, enfim, uma altura e uma envergadura superior ao dos seus oponentes anteriores aqui no PFL?
Então, por mais que eu tenha um tempo que eu lutei com um cara tão grande, mas eu sempre estou treinando com um cara grande, né? Vitor Rezende aí, que participou do Challenge do PFL, é um cara que é da América Top Team, que a gente tá sempre treinando junto também. É um cara bem mais alto que eu, que até o Maurice Greene. No meu camp agora teve o Branjão, né? Montanha, que é um cara muito grande também, um cara que tem uma envergadura boa. Nessa questão eu não tenho dificuldade nenhuma em lutar com um cara grande. E os meus treinos foram voltados para isso, então estou muito bem preparado.
No, I've no issue at all in fighting someone, of similar height to mine. If you look at American Top Team in the camp I just had, this is all part of the work we've been doing out there. I have Montanha, Branjão, who's a guy who's, mimics the body type of Maurice Greene very well as far as height and reach, and Vitor Rezende, who's a guy who had a Challenger Series, fight earlier this year with the PFL. He's taller than myself, even has, bigger reach than me as well. So we've very comfortable in that department as far as preparation goes.
Awesome. Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you.
Dave.
Hey, and it seems that we just talked to Mo. It seems like there's a little bit of a bad blood between you two guys going into this fight. Is there some on your side? Do you feel it going into this fight with Mo Greene?
Você sente, assim, entrando nessa luta aí contra o Maurice Greene? A gente acabou de conversar com ele aqui. A impressão que a gente tem é que vocês não vão muito com a cara um do outro, né? Qual é a sua impressão?
Então, eu não tenho impressão nenhuma quanto a ele. Eu tô focado no meu trabalho, tô focado aí nessa luta. Ele é um cara grande, é um cara experiente. Então, eu não fico pensando no que ele é, no que ele não é. Tô focado aí no que eu vou fazer, né? A luta tá chegando, então eu quero dar o meu melhor, conseguir conectar os meus golpes, impor o meu jogo lá dentro do cage.
I have nothing against the guy, quite honestly. I'm really focused on what I can do, my game plan, and the fight itself. We're so close to the fight. I'm just trying to focus on my side of things, really. He's an experienced opponent. He's tall, he's lengthy. He's, fought against tough competition. But I'm not really, looking too much into his antics and, what he brings to the table on this side of things.
Right. Also on your socials, we're seeing some training stuff with the great Junior Dos Santos down there at American Top Team. How has it been training with one of the great heavyweights of all time? He's getting ready for a big fight September. You're getting ready for this big pivotal fight. How has it been training with Junior Dos Santos?
Como foi fazer esse camp com o Cigano? Vocês dois se preparando para duas grandes lutas, né? Ele em setembro e você aqui agora. Fala um pouco pra gente aí desse camp.
Tá junto com o Cigano é sempre bom, né, cara? Ele tem uma energia diferente, um cara que vibra muito ali. Então, absorvi o máximo ali, porque ele já lutou com grandes nomes e é um cara muito experiente na luta. Então, fazer parte do camp dele e ter ele comigo ali me aconselhando e vibrando junto foi muito importante. Estou me sentindo muito bem aí com tudo isso.
Well, being around him, it just his vibe and just like the atmosphere that he brings with him, it's next level. So, he's a guy that whenever you're with him, you just have to act like that sponge because he's done it all, he's seen it all, and he can give you so much experience, knowledge, and he just elevates the room.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Euro.
Hello, Renan. Obviously, the focus is on Maurice Greene this weekend. But if it were to go your way, who do you think you would be facing in the finale?
Obviamente o foco essa semana é contra o Maurice Greene, mas passando dessa luta, contra quem você acha que você luta na final?
Cara, então, eu tô preparado para lutar com qualquer um desses dois que passar aí. O meu foco é passar por essa luta, né? Meu próximo adversário aí é o que está definido. Mas assim, pelo que vem sendo aí, eu acho que o Goltsov deve passar para a final. Mas eu não aposto em nenhum, porque a luta de peso pesado é uma loteria ali. Todos os dois estão muito bem preparados e querendo muito. Mas assim, vou estar pronto aí para essa próxima luta e para chegar bem na final.
I'm really just focused on the Maurice Greene fight as things stand. That said, I'll be ready for any and all of those two guys on the other side. I feel like both are extremely well prepared and focused on this fight. And but that said, I'd lean towards Denis. That said, again, heavyweight fight's a lottery. So you got two big guys with heavy hands. Anything can happen.
Awesome. And you also received some praise by new PFL signing Francis Ngannou after your last fight. What was it like hearing that? And would you like to be the one to welcome him to the PFL Smart Cage?
O Francis Ngannou falou muito de você, né? Falou dos seus atributos, de você como atleta. Como é que você se sentiria se você pudesse ser o cara a dar as boas-vindas a ele, ao PFL dentro do cage?
Estaria pronto e estou pronto para qualquer adversário, né, velho? Lutar com um cara do nível do Francis é o que eu quero, é o que eu busco, tá sempre entre os melhores, lutar com os melhores. Então, seria uma honra aí dar as boas-vindas para ele.
That's the kind of stuff that I've dreamed of and that I really want to do in my career. I want to be around the best. I want to fight the best. So it'd be an honor to welcome him into the PFL cage.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Jonathan, bring us home.
Jonathan Ramacon, 5 Reasons Sports. Renan, I know you mentioned not paying it too much mind, but does the trash talk make it a little more fun going into the fight? Does it bring you back to maybe the roots of when you first started fighting?
Falou que você tenta não se importar muito, não dá muito, assim, não pensar muito nisso, né? Mas você sente que o trash talking, que esse vai e vem, enfim, essa porrinhação entre você e o Maurice fazem a semana da luta um pouco mais divertida, te leva um pouco assim ao começo da sua carreira, aos tempos, entendeu, antigos da MMA. O que você acha disso tudo?
Com certeza o entretenimento fica mais divertido, né? A galera gosta desse tipo de provocação e tal. Eu sou um cara que eu não gosto de provocar muito, eu gosto de ficar focado na semana da luta, fazer minha luta ali, mas tô curtindo muito o momento, para mim tá sendo maravilhoso.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a different feeling for me. I'm usually more of a, calm, cool, and collected kind of guy. Try to, keep it professional and focused on the martial art merits of the fight. But this makes it more entertaining for everyone. I know the fans like to see it, and I've been having a good time with it myself.
Do you have a final message for your opponent, or will the message be delivered when you fight coming up?
A mensagem final para o seu oponente ou a mensagem final vai ser dentro do cage?
Mensagem final vai ser dentro do cage. Pô, tô super focado, bem preparado para essa luta aí, como eu já tenho falado bastante. E sexta-feira aí a gente resolve.
Now I'll leave it for the cage. I'm super well prepared and focused for this fight. We'll settle the score inside the PFL Smart Cage.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, guys, we're gonna bring in Denis.
I'll show you enough, bro.
It is freezing.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got Denis here. Please raise your hands if you have questions for Denis. And Ryan, let's get started with you.
Thank you. Ryan Rappaport from Fight Capital. Denis, you made it a habit of not letting your fights get out of the first round. What's your prediction for the fight this weekend?
Денис, у тебя уже привычка не выпускать своих соперников из первого раунда. Какие выводы и какие планы на бой?
На самом деле сильно план не отличается. Самое главное начать первым номером работать в клетке и по ситуации уже смотреть, как соперник себя поведет. Ну, я уверен в своих силах. У меня много козырей, которые всегда при мне, поэтому в целом я думаю, что бой должен закончиться достаточно быстро.
I don't really have that many plans. I'm always going to be working the way I work, start the fight and push the pace, and the fight will play itself out, and everything will be settled. I'm going to be moving forward.
Thank you.
Jonathan.
Jonathan Ramakhan, 5 Region Sports. Denis, your fight coming up will be almost 2 years removed from your last loss. How different of a fighter are you coming into this fight this Friday?
Вот этот уже бой уже будет уже как 2 года не проигрывал, и очень все сейчас получается, хороший экспириенс. Как ты думаешь, как пройдет этот бой?
Я думаю, что в любом случае мы оба хорошо готовы и хорошо готовились к этому бою. У каждого из нас есть шанс, но потому как я уже очень давно выступаю в этой организации и уже чувствую себя частью этой организации, я думаю, что шансов больше у меня, потому как это первый сезон для моего оппонента, и возможно, не так хорошо он прочувствовал каждого бойца в тяжелом дивизионе, как я.
Both of us, me and my opponent, we both been training very hard and expect him to be also training very hard. However, I think I have a slight advantage in this heavyweight division this year compared to my opponent based on I already felt a lot of elite heavyweight fighters in this organization. I've been already in the mix. I have great experience. I've been around. And for my opponent, this is the kind of like first year stepping into the big league. And I don't think he felt too many heavyweights in the higher level. So I think based on that, I'm going to have a slight advantage.
Now, you mentioned your opponent. He actually spoke about you with a healthy respect, speaking about your striking, your experience, and your grappling. What are some good attributes of your opponent you maybe see in Jordan?
Твой соперник, он про тебя говорил очень хорошие вещи. Он говорил, что у тебя шикарная ударная техника и что ты очень опасный соперник. Что ты хотел бы сказать про него и про него как соперника тоже?
Я не видел много боев моего соперника, но судя по последним боям, могу сказать, что он действительно храбрый парень, который имеет дух. Зачастую это самое главное в боях.
To be honest with you, I didn't see too many fights from my opponent. However, I did see some, and from what I did see, it's clear to me that he has a very strong willpower and he has a lot of heart, which is one of the most important thing in a fight.
Thank you so much and good luck in your fight.
Thanks.
Anik.
Anik Subramanian, Fightbook MMA. Denis, many call you the Russian Bogator. Where did you get that nickname from?
Денис, тебя очень многие называют как никнейм «Богатырь». И откуда пришел этот никнейм и как ты его получил?
Ну, появился он изначально с первых боев моей профессиональной карьеры в ММА. Собственно говоря, что у нас большинство спортсменов, если не предаваться к той или иной конфессии, они все равно верующие, потому как очень часто, когда ты готовишься, тренируешься, ты рассчитываешь на себя, но ты чувствуешь, что тебе этого не хватает, и нужна помощь, скажем так, свыше. Поэтому многие стараются находить помощь именно в этом аспекте. И как-то так само по себе оно сложилось исторически уже, что прозвище легло ко мне. Ну и плюс была борода, поэтому одно к одному сошлось, и такое прозвище у меня появилось. Но я уже, как бы, скажем так, давно уже не использую его. Не знаю, откуда достали эту информацию, но старая информация.
I got this nickname from my early days, from my first fights. A lot of fighters from our regions, they all believers. They believe in higher up. And starting my MMA career, that's a nickname I've been given because I also have a beard and I look like Bogatyr. However, I haven't been using this nickname in a very long time in many fights. So I don't know how people were able to find out my nickname from the back in the day.
Understood. And one more from me. How much would it mean for you and your teammate Marina to make the PFL finals together?
Еще один вопрос. Что для тебя это значит, что если ты и Марина, вы оба выйдете в финал из одного места, что ты про это думаешь и как на это смотришь, что вы оба из одного места и вы оба будете в финале?
Я думаю, что это в очередной раз будет хорошим подтверждением того, что наша российская школа самбо имеет место на пьедестале наравне со всеми остальными единоборствами и претендовать на вид спорта, один из лучших видов спорта среди единоборств.
I think this is going to be a great example of our Russian combat sambo that, you know, it's a very, very good sport. And by doing this sport, you can reach really high level. And it's a very complete sport. And by doing the sport, you can bring yourself up in one of the highest levels in the world with the organizations. And we're putting this sport on a map for everyone to see as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Denis. Excited to see you compete.
Thank you.
Mills.
How's it going, Denis? MMA Locker Room, part of Pub Sports Radio.
Hi.
How's it going? All right. St. Petersburg's definitely on the map. With that being said, though, I just want to keep in mind with like a superhero theme. Your opponent goes by the name of Thor. Since his name is Thor, what would you call yourself, or who would you consider yourself to be in a superhero role since you're fighting Thor this week?
У твоего соперника в этом бою, у него тоже есть никнейм, но у него никнейм Thor. Это такое, как бы, да. И как бы ты назвал себя, если бы вот такой у вас сейчас был суперфайт, такой высокого уровня, и он называет себя Thor, как бы ты себя назвал в этом бою против него?
Да я бы себя особо никак не называл бы. Я в первую очередь самбист. И, наверное, это самое главное. Это философия, образ жизни, мировоззрение каждого спортсмена, который, наверное, имеет в себе и силу, и уважение к сопернику, и много всяких разных качеств, которые добавляют каждому спортсмену, наверное, нравственности и в жизни, и в спорте. И это самое, наверное, главное. Поэтому я думаю, что сам бой был бы, наверное, самым главным событием, нежели какие-либо названия и никнеймы.
Well, first of all, I would call myself as a combo sambo athlete. I wouldn't give myself any nicknames. And by giving you guys this high-level fight and this great matchup, I would just give you, instead of giving the names and nicknames, I would just dedicate this towards actual fight. And then you're going to see a spectacular show. And the fight will show everything. And based on the fight, you'll be able to give this fight a name.
Ну и вообще называться именами богов тех или иных античных времен, наверное, не стоит. Я думаю, что если бы они об этом узнали, не сильно им бы это понравилось.
And also, I want to add that I think we shouldn't take names from the gods themselves, because if they were here right now, I don't think they would like it much and appreciate it much.
Got it. Like that. And then last question, just besides your fight, who is the one fight that you're looking forward to on this card and watching it live in the event?
Кроме, естественно, твоего боя, какой еще бой тебе очень интересен в пятницу, который бы ты реально хотел посмотреть и который бы взял твоего интереса?
Ну, конечно же, это бой второй пары полуфиналистов супертяжелого дивизиона. В любом случае я буду смотреть, кто как будет работать, и для себя понимать, если я выйду в финал, то с этими ребятами я буду встречаться. Поэтому в любом случае после своего боя я буду просматривать остальных тяжеловесов.
Of course, after this fight, for me, the number one I'm going to be paying attention is my future potential opponents in a heavyweight bracket. So as soon as my fight ends and I have time to concentrate on other things, I'll be paying attention to heavyweight roster fights with the potential fighters that I might fight in the future, analyze them, and see how they perform.
Awesome. All right, Euro, last question.
Hi, Denis. I heard you just mention your opponent's strengths. With that being said, what excites you most about the overall matchup with Jordan Heiderman?
Мы слышали, что ты сказал про своего соперника, ну, хорошие качества. Какие еще выводы и что ты еще думаешь про своего соперника?
Ну, самым основным, конечно, является опыт, так как его рекорд показывает, что он относительно не так давно начал выступать на скажем так, на профессиональной арене, и имея, если не ошибаюсь, у него за плечами 7 боев, мне кажется, все-таки будет это влиять существенную разницу в ведении боя.
He's a tough, brave guy. However, also this is based on his record, we can see that he's just entering kind of elite, high level of mixed martial arts, and this is serious fighters out here, and we're gonna see how he's gonna perform under the pressure also, and we'll see what he can do in a cage with all the pressure at a really high level of MMA.
Thank you and good luck.
Thanks.
Thank you, Dennis, for your time today. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Just
Thank
gonna
you.
Go right next door and then all done for today.
All day, there's a circle.
Oh, I know.
Certamente eu vou ficar cega.
All right, guys, the champ is here. Please raise your hands if you have questions for her. She is our last one of the day.
My bad, don't worry about it.
Por que tá feio?
What was the bag? Was that you or was it?
Ah, meu amigo. Quando tu for pra trás, pegou um moleque.
All right, good, Bon? All right, Anik, please start us off.
Anik Subramanian, Fightbook MMA. Larissa, you're only 28 years old and you're 2 fights away from becoming the PFL double champ. You've already accomplished so much in your career. Do you have any goals for what you would like to do after you retire from fighting?
28 anos, já conquistou tanto na sua carreira. Você tem planos do que você sabe o que você quer fazer depois que a sua carreira acabar?
Apesar de ser muito nova e já ter feito muito, eu ainda não tenho previsão pro final da minha carreira. Mas eu acho que eu não vou conseguir me ver trabalhando com outra coisa, assim, sem estar dentro do esporte. Eu posso até abrir, tenho vontade, na verdade, de abrir outros negócios, outras coisas assim, até para diversificar, né? Sair um pouco do que eu faço, mas não ficar sem a luta.
Well, despite being, very young and having accomplished so much, I have no intention and no idea as to when I'll, wrap up with my career. I just love the sport so much. I have no idea what else I would do outside of martial arts. I'm sure I'll stay in the business, but still on that note, I do think and consider of, delving into other businesses as well.
Very nice. And Larissa,
How does it feel to be back in this magical place where you shocked the world last November in Madison Square Garden?
Como é que você se sente estando aqui no Madison de novo, onde você chocou o mundo ano passado?
Bom, eu já tive experiências boas no Madison, experiências ruins também. Então, é sempre bom chegar aqui, chegar em Nova York, poder fazer uma grande luta. Eu fico muito feliz quando falam que a luta aqui é em Nova York, que é um lugar é um dos lugares assim dos Estados Unidos que eu mais gosto de vir, né? Então, vai ser muito bom para mim. Eu fico muito feliz sempre de lutar aqui. É isso.
I have great memories. I have not so great memories out here. But I do love coming back to New York. I'm always ecstatic whenever PFL says that this role will be hosting the fights. I've a great time here every single time. So, but this will be another great one.
Awesome. Obrigado, and excited to see you on Friday.
De nada.
Ryan.
Thank you. Champ, welcome back. Ryan Rappaport from Fight Capital. You spent, 3 years rehabbing and not being able to compete. What does it mean for you to win that money? And what will it mean for you again when you win that title for your family and for your personal wealth?
Passou, né, 3 anos sem competir, 3 anos fora do cage. O que significou para você ano passado ganhar o cinturão, ganhar $1 milhão? E o que vai significar ganhar isso de novo esse ano?
Bom, o tempo que eu fiquei parada, né, foi um tempo muito difícil para mim, porque o único pensamento que eu tinha era de desistir, mas o sentimento pela luta não me deixava fazer isso. Ganhando o cinturão foi a constatação de que eu não deveria desistir de fato, porque tenho talento, sei do meu potencial, sei que posso conseguir muito mais que isso. Então, isso foi uma concretização para mim. E agora é a continuação de um legado. Na verdade, é a construção de um legado.
Well, just winning the belt and the championship last year was just my way of proving that I was right in the end of the day, that, I should not have given up on my dream. And I'm, so happy I didn't. And this is just the continuation of me building a legacy, me writing my name in the MMA history books.
Thank you.
How's it going, Champ? MMA Locker Room, part of Pub Sports Radio.
Tudo bom?
Tudo bem, comigo tudo bem.
All right. Just got a few questions for you. Looking over your resume, it seems like you actually have one of the better fight resumes out of all the fighters in the PFL division, with wins over Julia Budd, Kayla Harris, and Gina Fabon. I mean, the list goes on. So how does it feel to actually perform at the top of your ability in this sport? And when you go out there, does anything go into your mind differently, since this will be your second time returning to get that belt?
Olhando o seu currículo, você tem um currículo invejável de MMA, com vitórias contra a Kayla, contra a Julia Budd, contra a Jenna. Como é que você se sente estando aqui no PFL, sendo uma das pessoas com mais experiência na divisão e no PFL no geral, pegando aqui, estando disposta, estando aqui para disputar o seu segundo cinturão?
Bom, eu fico muito feliz por isso, né? Por tudo que eu construí até agora. Eu acho que o segredo de tudo isso sempre foi, além da minha dedicação, o respeito que eu tenho pelas minhas oponentes. Eu nunca subestimei nenhuma das minhas oponentes, independente de nível técnico de cada uma. Eu nunca julguei isso, na verdade. Então, eu sempre fiz por mim, continuo fazendo por mim e quero continuar fazendo para continuar ganhando outros títulos, para continuar ganhando de outros grandes nomes e construir o meu nome dentro da organização e no mundo do MMA.
I think part of the secret behind all of this is the fact and the way that I've treated all my opponents. I've treated every single one of them equally, with the same respect, and I've prepared for them the same way and with the same intensity, never undermining every single one of them for their capabilities. And I think this is, as I said, the secret sauce as to my success, and part of the reason why I have, full intentions of being here winning more titles, more belts, and well, more $1 million checks.
Got it. And then one more thing. So it's been in the news that Clarissa Shields is signing back with PFL. That's just one name, but who would you like to see maybe, come over to the organization and give you some more competition? Because when it comes to the competition, you ran through them, you're about to relap them. So who are some other people that you would like to see come over to the promotion so you can fight with them?
A PFL acabou de anunciar que renovaram o contrato da Clarissa Shields, uma boxeira aí de alto quilate. Como ele já perguntou, você já ganhou de todo mundo aqui, né? Que compete aqui. Quem são certas contratações que você gostaria de ver a PFL fechar para você poder lutar e ter outros desafios, ter novas competidoras aqui para você poder se testar?
Bom, eu acho que a Clarissa tá na mesma categoria que eu, né? Antes o maior nome da organização era a Kayla, eu já ganhei ela. Eu acho que não vejo por que também a gente não fazer uma grande promoção e fechar essa luta, a minha e da Clarice, né? Então, eu quero lutar sempre com os maiores nomes, quero lutar com todo mundo. Eu nunca escolhi atleta, não vai ser agora que eu vou escolher, mas se sim, puder optar por uma opção de lutar com um grande nome para fazer uma grande promoção, eu quero.
Well, I've never picked opponents. I'm not going to start doing it now. But I'm up for a challenge. I'm up for a big name, for a big fight. Kayla was the main name, and I've been able to check that box out. So if Clarissa is an option, I'd love to test myself against her as well. I think that'd be a great fight.
Max.
Hey, champ, how are you today?
Como é que você tá? Tudo bom?
Tudo bem comigo.
So we've seen it before, and we've seen it time and time again. When fighters are fighting for the third time and one fighter has won the first two, the third fight is often way different from what we've seen in the past. I mean, you've done it yourself with fighting Kayla twice and then finally kind of climbing that mountain and beating her. What do you expect different from Olena this time as opposed to the two prior times you fought her?
Você teve uma terceira experiência contra a Kayla muito diferente das primeiras duas. O que você espera de diferente da Olena nessa luta do que aconteceu nas primeiras duas?
Cara, eu vi as lutas da Olena, não me impressionaram. Como já falei, tenho medo do coração dela e do que eu posso ter alimentado, como a Kayla fez comigo. Mas o que faltava para mim era estrutura e dedicação. Dedicação não, porque eu sempre tive, mas o que faltava para mim era estrutura. E hoje eu tenho. Eu não descansei e não fiz como a Kayla fez comigo, que acabou até acho que menosprezando, subestimando. Então, eu não faço isso com a Olena, não a menosprezo, não a subestimo, mas eu vou entrar como entrei com a garra para todas as outras e quero acabar com a luta o mais rápido possível. Sair dali e jantar sem me machucar.
I don't really see the evolution in Olena as I brought to the table my third fight against Kayla. I'm not necessarily worried about what she brings to the table. What I am, a lot more hesitant about is her heart, her grit, and what I may have, led her to thinking and how much she may really want this. But I do not see an evolution in her game, which is, what, as I said, what Kayla definitely noticed in my game. I've not stopped training ever since I last fought Olena. I now have more infrastructure than I did in the last time. I've always been dedicated, but now I have the platform. Now I have the ends and the means, to make stuff happen. So I'm not undermining her, which I think is something that happened on my third fight against Kayla. I thought she was going to cruise through me. I'm just looking forward to another great performance, a nice dinner to come right after.
Obrigado, Larissa.
Nada.
All right, Euro, wrap us up. Last question of the day.
Hey, Larissa, to kind of piggyback off of his question, Obviously, you're about to fight Olena Kolesnyk for the third time. I want to ask, how differently do you approach this trilogy in order to get the same result as the previous fights between you two?
Como é que você assim se prepara para essa trilogia para poder ter o mesmo resultado das duas primeiras vezes?
Meu camp não muda muita coisa, eu continuo treinando de tudo. Na verdade, é uma coisa que eu faço desde o início da minha carreira. A gente modifica coisas do tipo ganhar mais massa muscular, comer mais isso, comer menos aquilo. Mas, fora isso, eu trabalho todos os dias fazendo praticamente as mesmas coisas. Eu fortaleço aquilo que eu já sei. Eu deixo mais forte aquilo que eu já sei. Então, eu treino de tudo o tempo todo. Não tem segredo no que eu faço. Eu só me dedico muito para isso.
You don't change a winning team. There's no real secret to what I'm doing. My camp remains the same. The strategy is the same. I do the same thing day in, day out. All that's changing is, you know, a little bit of a tweak in a diet, or we're gaining a little bit more of muscle mass here or there. Those are the tweaks that are being made. Aside from that, there's no secret. It's just hard work.
Awesome. And you won 8 in a row since your last loss in 2019. How did that loss change you as a fighter now that you're on a significant win streak?
Ganhou 8 em sequência desde 2019. Como é que aquela derrota em 2019 te mudou como atleta, como competidora?
Bom, eu comecei a temporada de 2019 com uma derrota para Keila, mas com bastante noção de que eu podia ter feito mais, só que o meu corpo não respondia aos meus comandos, justamente porque eu estava 3 anos sem lutar. Né? Aquele ano foi um ano difícil para mim e foi decisivo. Foi o ano que, na verdade, me deu possibilidade de continuar dentro da luta, porque naquele ano eu consegui fazer dinheiro para investir nos outros camps. E foi isso que fez a diferença, a possibilidade financeira, porque disposição eu tinha, talento eu tenho, então a única coisa que me faltava mesmo era a estrutura, né? Que a PFL acabou me dando isso, né? Até eu chegar a me tornar campeão.
Yeah, the 2019 season, I wanted to do certain things. I had my mind towards certain things inside the cage, but my body was just not, you know, answering the way that I was expecting, that I quite honestly wanted it to answer. That said, that season brought me back to the game, brought me back alive, and allowed me to, you know, keep fighting. I've always had the will. I've always had the strength. I've always had the talent. That 2019 season, not only did it leave, you know, that taste of wanting more, but it gave me the financial condition to keep fighting and to be where I am right now, you know, after all these seasons that came shortly after.
Obrigado e boa sorte.
Obrigado.
All right, champ. Thanks for your time today. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
You'll just head over to the next room and then we're all done. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining today's media call. The recording will be available shortly and the link on the invite. Thanks again.